Hey team. All right. So we're going to watch our very first scene today in class, which is very exciting. But before we do, let's talk about homework. So tonight you're going to read Act 1, scenes 2 and 3. And they're pretty short, which is why we're putting them together. All right. And you're going to do log number 2. So again, you have a specific prompt for that. We'll make sure that we share it and that everything is really clear. So here's what we're doing today. We're going to talk about what happened in Act 1, Scene 1, and then you're going to actually watch it. And that's going to be in a different video because I couldn't put them together. So I will show you how to do that. And then you're going to have some time. You can do your log number 2, or you can work on reading your next scenes. It'll be up to you at that point. All right. So let's talk about Act 1, Scene 1. This is the one you were supposed to read last night. This is the one that we're going to be watching together in just a minute. So here's what happens. The Capulets, that's Juliet's family, she's not there, but the Capulets see the Montagues approaching, and they're talking about whether or not they should start a fight. Because remember, those two families are having a really big fight. So when they see each other, they kind of want to get into it. So they do start to fight, and Benvolio, who is a Montague, tries to stop it. Okay. Tybalt, who is a Capulet, is like, no, F that. Let's have this fight, right? So they start fighting. And then the prince, who's kind of like the police chief, he enters into the fight and he stops them. Okay. So that's kind of the first part of the scene. We see the two families fighting. Then Benvolio meets up with Montague, who's Romeo's dad, and he's telling him the story of how the fight started. Lady Montague, Romeo's mom, says that she's worried about Romeo, and Benvolio's like, yeah, totally, he's acting super weird, but I'll find out what's going on. So Benvolio goes to find Romeo, and Romeo tells Benvolio that he's in love with this woman named Rosaline, but she doesn't love him back, and he's really sad about that. And Benvolio's like, screw that. I'm going to make you forget about her. I'm going to introduce you to some other girls, and you're not even going to remember who she was. Okay. So that's the scene that we're going to watch together. So let me show you how to find it. All right. Because it is in a different video. I couldn't put everything all together. So you're going to go into your iLearn, right? And you're going to click on today, right? And it's this one. It has this little camera, and it says R&J, Romeo and Juliet, Act 1, Scene 1. So you're going to click on that. And then you're actually going to see that pop right up. So you press the play down here in the corner. Bam. And it will go ahead and start playing for you. Okay. So the reason I didn't want to put it all in the same video is that so that you can go back and watch the scenes and you don't like have to listen to me talking and stuff. This stuff on the side will go away. You just have to give it a second. All right. Okay. So pause this here. Go ahead and watch the scene, and then you can come back to this video and we'll talk about your log. Okay. Okay, so we've watched the scene, and now we're going to do log number 2. And you have a choice for this one for your prompts. So in prompt A, you can summarize what's happening in the scene, Act 1, Scene 1. That's what 1.1 means. So who are the people who are fighting? How do you know that they're fighting? Like, what behaviors are they doing? And what would you do if you were a Montague and somebody from the Capulets, your sworn enemies, showed up? Okay, so that's the first prompt. Second prompt is asking, why does Benvolio break up the fight even though he should be fighting, right? If he's loyal to his family, he should be taking part. So why does he break it up? What kind of person do you think Benvolio is, and how do you know? What kind of person do you think Tybalt is, and how do you know? And what's going on with Romeo? So you can choose one or the other. You can choose to do both if you want, because remember, your log needs to be 10 sentences. But it's really up to you. Either one is great. And again, if you get stuck or you're having trouble, send us a remind and let us know.